You know, a lot of times when I'm doing videos or when I'm trying to decide what videos I'm going to do, some of it I just kind of think of all the casinos I've been to, and I've been to over 60, and I'm trying to say to myself, what should I do? What kind of video should I do today based on some information to give people to help them in the casinos? Then sometimes I'll watch a video that somebody do, whether it's a slot channel or somebody's just talking about casinos, and I come up with a video. This particular one, I was did a video and someone comment, and so this video is based on that comment. And as you see in the description, or I should say the title of this video, it is, do the casinos try to set you up to lose? Is that what they're doing? And so that's the question today. And that was a question, that really wasn't a question. The person commented as a statement that they said, don't, online or even in the live casinos or the regular brick and mortar casinos, they're all scams. You know, they're just set up to take your money. So let's just go and check that out. Now, I think a lot of times when people ask questions, sometimes there's just one answer, or it could be two. It could be yes, it could be no, or sometimes it could be both. So when you watch my channel, a lot of times I like to give little examples to make you or help you understand a little bit better of what I'm trying to say. So the example I'm going to give is, let's say you go to an amusement park and it's real hot out there, and man, you need something to drink. So you go over to a little spot where they're selling drinks, and you say, hey, how much are the drinks? The guy says, well, we got these 20-ounce drinks. They're $5. And you say, $5 for a 20-ounce drink? I can go buy a couple 6-packs or a 6-pack or a 12-pack of drinks for $5. Maybe I spend a little bit more. But so you may say, I'm not going to do that. So the answer might be to you, no, I'm not going to get that. But if you say, hey, come on back, I forgot to tell you, you have unlimited refills. You buy for $5, but you can drink as much as you want, get as many refills as you want. So now the answer might be yes. Because once you drink even just 5 refills, you get 4 refills, that's 5 drinks, that's $1 each. That's good. So based on other information, you may change your perception of what you really think. And so we're going to go over these. We're not going to focus really on the online, but we're going to focus more on, I might do a video on the difference between the two. But right now we're going to talk about the real live casinos. Do they set you up just to take your money or just to lose? So I think most people, if you ask that question, they're going to say, absolutely. And I think to some degree, no matter how you slice it, even if you might say, no, I don't think they will, there's some part of it, or a part of you that says, yeah, to some degree, they do set you up to take your money. And let's just go over those, okay? And if we pick the yes part, saying, yeah, they're setting you up. Well, number one, all the odds work in their favor. So all the odds, when you go to the tables, when you go to the machines, and it's always set up in their favor. And even when you play the slots, even though they give you what they call the return, the return to player percentage, usually that's in the 90s, like 94 to 97, where they return. That's usually over the lifetime, they say, of the slot machine. Even though that seems like a lot, that you'll win 97% of it, but when you're hitting that button, that 3% will add up real quick. So they have so many things working in their favor. But I really don't think that's what the person that made the comment was. I think that they think they're trying to do something really tricky and sneaky, to try, like unlawful, to try to get you to lose your money. But when you go back to the comments about having all the things in there, the odds in their favor, and how it's a little more difficult for you, and they really don't have to do any cheating because it works so much in their favor. But the biggest thing they have in their favor are two things. Is they're open 24 hours, and they can take any bet that you place. They can take any one of your bets, they can take. So if you had the ability to place any amount of bet you wanted to, and you had unlimited amounts of money, you could always win at the casino, because you can just keep betting, especially if you progress betting until you up enough and then just quit and take the money with you. But a lot of times they, not only do they say there's a minimum you have to bet, sometimes they say there's a maximum. So sometimes if you progressive bet, you still might not be able to put enough bet to get all your losses back to win. So that's something you got to watch when you in the casino. So now the ways I would say that I don't think they're trying to set you up is just that they have too much working in their favor to win that they don't need to. I'll give you another example. Let's take blackjack. I did a video a while back that says something about casinos win even when they lose sometimes. And here's a prime example. If you're on a blackjack table, let's say there's 5 people at this blackjack table. What you're doing is those 5 people are playing against the dealer. Okay? So now if that first person, if they have, let's say, if anybody know the game, you're trying to get the closest to 21 without going over. So if that first person has 20, the next person has 9, let's say the first person has 20, the next person has 18, next one 17, 16, 15 on down. And the dealer gets 19, okay? He loses to the first person, but he wins all the bet from the next 4. So even though the dealer did lose in that hand, all that money that he took from those other people that lost paid the other guy that did win, plus they have some left. So, and that happens from even when you play that, or even if you play on craps. Craps, you might have 20, 30 bets going on. One person or 2 people or 3 people might win, but you might have 15 people that lose. All that, even though they lost to those those 2 or 3 people, they got all that money from the other 15. So the casino, they win even when they lose sometimes. So I just think that they really in a situation where they don't have to cheat. Me personally, I don't think they cheat, because I think it's set up so easily for them not to that they don't have to, because they're going to make money regardless, unless they try to get greedy. But now online is a little different. I don't want to go into a lot about online, but because you can't really see what's going on. Like you never know. You could be playing online, somebody else playing online, and the results might look one way to you and a different to them. So you never know what's going on there. That's the only reason why I can't really call it on the online. But I think actual casinos you go in, I don't think they cheat as much as people think they cheat, simply because they don't have to. Why risk, lawsuits or fines or anything like that when you don't have to? Because most of the times a lot of times people be ahead and they turn around and give the money back. So they could have beat the casino for that one trip to the casino, but they get greedy and end up giving it back. So that's just my take on whether or not they really kind of set you up so you can lose. I really don't. Overall, I don't think that's the case, but I think they set up the way the odds work and the payback works and all that. I think they set that up so it's in their best interest, or the best odds for them. So that's just my little say on that. So like I said, I always try to give you information from the parking lot to the nearest slots, and you're welcome to use it.